Hey guys, it's Ivory. Welcome to my channel. So today I am doing my third review on my 4-part series of the Jaclyn x Morphe Vault collection. In today's video, I am reviewing the Ring the Alarm palette. It looks like this. I was able to use 9 out of the 10 shades to create this look that you see right here. Just like my other 2 reviews, this is not a first impressions. As you can see, this has been used. It has been loved. I've used it 2 or 3 times, so this will be the 3rd or 4th time that I've used this. I wanted to give a really good, true and honest review about what I think about this, you know, creating different looks and just really playing around with all of the shadows. So that is why I didn't do a first impressions, because sometimes at the very top it's not the best. So now that I have scraped into it and we are into the meat of the pans, I can tell you whether or not this is worth your money. Before we get started, please subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday and post occasional bonus videos throughout the week. So if you want to know what I think of this palette, then please keep on watching. So for those of you that are not familiar with this palette, this is what it looks like. A lot of warm colors. I feel like of all 4 palettes, this is probably the one that's like screams Jaclyn to me. It's a lot like what she would create, and a lot of her looks look like colors from this palette. It has half mattes and half shimmers, so you get, you know, different finishes and different types of looks. For anyone that's interested, this retails for $15, and if you buy the entire collection, you can purchase it for $49. So you save a little bit of money if you buy them in bulk. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with my eyes today. Sometimes I do my base first, but today I'm just gonna change it up. So I've added some tape because I want it to be sharp today, and I've added some concealer, but I didn't set my concealer today. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I feel like when I don't set it, it's a little harder to maneuver the powder that first goes on, but the pigment of it is more true to the color in the pan, so that is why I didn't set it today. I'm gonna go in with this fluffy brush, and I'm gonna start off by using Rush. It is this orange creamsicle color. This is gonna be our transition shade. All right, the hair has to go up. I have no idea how people work with their hair down. Like, it's so distracting. The majority of people that got this for PR or got this right away when she launched it, like, a lot of the reviews are already out, so a lot of people may not see this review, and that's totally fine. The reason why I didn't buy the palettes when they first came out is because I saw the reviews from PR, and when she said that she was destroying all of the old palettes, I didn't believe it for a second, and that's the God's honest truth. And when people were reviewing and saying like, it's still patchy, I have a problem with it, that is why I didn't buy the palette right away. So I waited till it was sold out so that they would have new shipments of the Vault. My philosophy is one of 2 things would have been done. 1, they sold the old palettes, and that's why people are having problems with it, and that eventually whatever problems they had, either it's still the same thing, they haven't changed it, or they'll sell all of the old palettes and then just kind of fix up the problems with the new palettes. And that is why I waited until they were sold out and got the second wave of palettes. I've heard a lot of people have problems returning these palettes if they've been used, so I wanted to make sure that I got a decent one. I didn't get the original first wave of them, and then I couldn't return it. Okay, so that is the first color down. I don't have any problems with this one. This matte is pretty good. With this fluffy brush, I'm gonna go in with Alert. It is this more pumpkin-y orange, and I'm just gonna add some depth to my eye. It's basically going everywhere that the transition shade went, but just a little lower. I'm leaving a lot of space for my lid because I'm gonna go in with the shimmer there. It's a little hard to see, but they don't exactly pile nicely on top of each other. Like in this section specifically, the more pumpkin orange laying on top of the lighter orange, it's a little patchy, and as I deepen it up, it's just kind of getting patchier and accentuating that. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I think the only way to get it to not be patchy is to just really dip into it and then just press it in, but you can't really blend it. So this is the only way you can get it to lay on top of each other. Like, who does this, right? Like, it should be able to just work itself in. All right, next with Framed, it is this plum color. It's a little hard to see on camera. It looks kind of like brownish, but in person, it's more purple to me. It's like a purpley brown. I'm gonna use the Elizabeth Mott tapered blending brush and I'm gonna dip right into it, and it's only going in the outer V. All right, so that is framed. It actually went on really easily. I don't see any issues with it really, but honestly, I wasn't really sweeping into it because I only wanted it in my outer V. I was just kind of pressing it and kind of just pushing it into my socket. I guess I see when I flick it out right here, it is just a tiny bit patchy, very slightly. Okay, so I've already wet my brush. I'm using the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and I'm gonna go in with Lolly. It's hard to explain this color. It's like orange, but it has a shift to it, like a gold shift. It's super pretty, very unique. So I'm going to just go right into it and I'm gonna only put this in my inner third. You know what really sucks about reviewing all of these palettes is that since they're all super different, I have to clean my brushes all the time. And because of that, like these brushes are cheap. Okay, they were $1 and the handles are starting to crack. And I didn't buy them too long ago. I actually recently just bought the Jaclyn brush cleaner and it has been a lifesaver. Now I don't have to use like Dawn and water. I could just spray it and use a paper towel and all the color comes off and it dries so fast. So for anyone that's a beauty channel or you just do a lot of different colorful looks, that brush cleaner is so good. What I like to do with shimmers like this is after I apply a coat using a brush, I like to go in with my finger and add a second layer just to make it a little more pigmented. Oh yeah, it has like a dual shift. Do you see that? Oh, I have nothing like this. It's so pretty. Okay, using the other side of this brush, it's clean. I'm going in with the shade Bomb Ass. It is this cherry red. I'm gonna apply that to the other half of this lid. I'm not gonna really apply that to the outer corner since that purple, the shade Framed, is out there and I don't wanna cover it up. This color, as I dig into it, it's very crumbly. I just want to say that. I'm gonna go back into Lolly and just kind of mesh the two colors together just so that there's a gradient and it's just not a clear divide between Lolly and Bomb Ass. I forgot to add another layer of Bomb Ass, my bad. I'm gonna go back in real quickly and just make it more opaque because I felt like it wasn't true to its color. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in. Oof, I love this eye look. Super pretty. I'm gonna go in with Framed again. It was that purpley color and I just kind of want to re-intensify the outer corner. Okay, off of camera, I went and applied the Wet n Wild Mega Liner. This is the metallic liquid liner in the shade Wicked White. I don't really like this one only because it's not a true white, like it has a shimmer to it, but I couldn't find a true white at the drugstore. So if anyone has like a really good liquid liner that's just pure white, please let me know. I didn't do it on camera because it takes forever for me to do just something this simple, and I have shaky hands, so I just didn't want to show that. But I did add this white line because I wanted to go in with Boom. It's just a foiled orange. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm gonna go in with an eyeliner brush. I'm just gonna dip into Boom, and I'm gonna lay it on top of the white. Doing this white liner takes a little bit of work, and if you mess up, it's okay. Like if I messed up and this part is too thick, I just take the shadow where this is and I kind of cover it up so it looks like it never happened. But it does take some practice. I used to work at a nail salon for 5 years. The first time a woman asked me to do a design on her toe, I was so nervous about it. She just wanted a simple flower, but I was really nervous, and she's like, it's okay, like I'll let you practice on me. And I was freaking out. So I actually made her look away and I did her nails, and it took like 20 minutes to do the simplest flower, but I was really happy with the way it looked. Literally after that, I was never nervous again. I am not nervous to do like designs on people. Surprisingly, the one thing that does make me nervous is doing lines. Like you have like a flower and then you add like little intricate lines. I don't know why every single time I do them, I don't have like that good flick of the wrist. I know that comes with practice, but I did it as a college job, so I'm rusty. This one didn't turn out that great, like the arch, but I still like the artisticness of it. All right, next I'm gonna go in with On Camera. It is this beautiful gold, and with a pencil brush, I am just gonna hit my brow bone. Can't really see it. I'm gonna wet this brush. I forgot to do that. When you look at this palette, like I guess this and these two colors are the only ones that could be a brow bone and inner corner highlight. But I feel like this gold, it's even like too dark for my skin tone sometimes. So I don't think this gold works for everybody. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of my face off of camera and then I will be right back to finish off the lower lash line. Okay, so I did the rest of my face off of camera and I threw on some lashes. Okay, next with the e.l.f. eyeliner brush, it is this flat brush right here. I'm gonna go in with Siren. It looks matte from afar, but it does have a little bit of shimmer in it. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna tightline it. Keep looking at my mirror here when I could use this. So I'm gonna do that. This is so weird. I never use the mirrors in palettes. This is new for me. Okay, so even though I see a little bit of shimmer in the pan, and even when I swatch it, I see a little bit of shimmer, it does look overall matte when applied. It's not super patchy or anything. I think it looks okay. All right, and then next with the e.l.f. blending eye brush, I'm going in a little bit with Mugshot. Did I use Mugshot already? I don't think I did. But I'm gonna go in with Mugshot and I'm gonna tap it off. And I'm just gonna use that to blend out Siren. I'm using the IT Cosmetics No Tug Waterproof Gel Liner. This one kind of sucks. I don't know. I've had it for a long time, so maybe it's just old, but it's not very black. If anybody's looking for presents for me for early Christmas, all my friends that are watching, I need a new black eyeliner. All right, guys, so this is the final look. Honestly, I love the way that this turned out. This is probably my favorite palette out of all of them. Granted, I have one more to try, but I really like this one. I think of all the palettes, this is actually most up my alley and colors that I'm very comfortable with. So there is that. There's some bias there. But I really didn't have a problem with the shades in general. I think the only problem I had was with the shade Alert. When it was on top of Rush, it was a little patchy, so I had to kind of just dab it in to get it to be the opacity that I wanted it to be. But the shimmers are great. I have no issues with that. I think this red shade Bomb Ass, it's a little crumbly. I'm gonna admit that. The shimmers in general work way better when you wet your brush, and she does that too. And to get it to be even more pigmented, I recommend using a brush and patting it with your finger to add another layer. That is the best way that I found personally that works for me to get it to the true pigment of the pan. I think there's a lot of versatility in this. If you didn't want to go with a red look like this, you could go with a more orange look or a more like plum look. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of possibility in this. As far as being a complete palette, I'm not sure. Like I said before, these are really the only two colors that you could do for an inner corner and brow bone highlight. I said the same thing with Dark Magic. You don't have a lot of variety there. And I don't think that these colors are necessarily great for people that are paler than me. So I feel like some people are actually left out, which is odd because Jaclyn Hill herself, she is lighter than me, and I would have thought that she thought more about this before saying like this is a complete palette. I would have liked to see more of like a champagne shade here or like a vanilla shade. She herself has said multiple times that she can't leave the house without a brow bone highlight or an inner corner highlight, so I can't really see her using either of these for that. That is my one critique about that. I don't think this is totally finished. I think that they could have come up with a different shade to cater to people that are lighter skinned, but I do think the quality is pretty great for $15. I do think this is actually worth your money. I think this has got a lot of possibilities and you can be really creative with this. All right, so that is it for this review. I have one more, so please stick around. I will link the other two in the description box below if you're interested on what I think about that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!